Welcome everybody to tacosandgeeks.com. Justin here with Sean. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, I am good. I'm glad to be here for another installment of one of our great reviews.
And we got a doozy for this one. We are reviewing Netflix's new Korean horror show, All of Us Are Dead. And as always, I give you a brief synopsis, everybody. So here we go. And the synopsis reads as follows. A group of students trapped in a high school and find themselves in dire situations as they seek to be rescued from a zombie invasion of their school. And if you haven't seen the trailer, definitely check out the trailer before you watch the show, just if you want to get a feel of it. The best way I could describe this show is Train to Busan meets High School of the Dead without fan service. That's the best way I could describe this the show to everybody.
I think that's a pretty accurate description of it. The show is absolutely amazing.
It is. If they market this right, they're gonna have another Squid Game on their hands, I think, because this show, I think, is definitely on that level of just engagement with characters. Let's just talk a little bit first about this whole setup and what they did. Oh, by the way, this is absolutely no spoilers. We did get a screening to this or ahead of time, so we've been watching it before it releases on Friday. So no spoilers whatsoever. So don't worry, we're not spoiling anything with plots or who dies and everything else like that. So this is a spoiler-free review.
This is definitely a show you have to experience, and definitely no spoilers.
Yeah, and let's just start off right from the beginning, right from the jump. Even in episode 1, it takes a bit. They're doing a lot to set up the world, to set up the rules of the world. But when it hits, it is non-stop. It is just one thing after the other. And I think you said it before when we were talking off the recording, that it just leaves you intense and yelling at your TV.
Oh yeah, because there were plenty of times I was sitting at the TV and just screaming at characters, screaming at situations, just like, yo, come on, man, like, yo, this do better. It's kind of like there are times the show gets you so enthralled and so deep into it that you actually feel like you're there. You actually feel like this is something you'd actually be saying, like, during the whole situation, during like while everything's going on in the events. This is something you would probably say to one of the characters, like, yo, what the is going on with you? Like, do better, get better. Like it's like there were times I would jump up out the seat, like, yo, why are you doing this? Like, or I'd scream, move, and it just stuff like that. But it was definitely an experience.
It is, and I think you nail it right on the head, because there's one thing I can guarantee anybody who's going to be watching this show is that it doesn't matter if they're the main character, the supporting character, or even an extra. Watching this show, you are going to feel some type of emotion. And for me and Sean, I could tell you, we were intense. We feeling a feeling of intensity, but also at times really pissed off a lot of the times.
Yeah. there were definitely, and I don't think this is, there are definitely times where you're like, yo, you were wishing some harmful points where you were like, yo, it's kind of hard to say it without, I don't want
spoiling. Yeah.
It's like there were definitely times you were like, you hope this person gets it or that.
Yeah.
It was really 12 episodes of a wild ride. Like, this is not spoiling anything. I think they did a very good job in the beginning, setting everybody up before anything takes place. I think they told a great story, and you kind of get into that first, and then you're just like, yep, here's the ride.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off of what Sean is saying is that, without spoiling, there are a certain amount of characters in here who to me are totally irredeemable, and it's just like, you are just like the worst person. And how is it possible that you're just making it like you're getting so like luck is on this person's side? It's just like, you're watching the show, you just like, you're pleading with the show, like, please take this person out. Take this person out. I can't stand to see them on the screen. And just much talent to the actors, for just the writing and the actors is top notch shit, because the actors act their asses off. These kids, these young adults, like the youngest, they really did cast teenagers here. I'm not even gonna bother to pronounce the names But they did a real. Let me try. We have one of the main leads, Chung Sung, played by Yoo Chan Young, and Onjo, who is played by Park Ji Hoo, and she is the main lead. And Sean, if you want to know, that's the girl, the two high school childhood friends. And they did a hell of a job, man. I was really amazed with their performances.
And I have to say, like, kudos to the special effects and production and acting. Like, they really are taking it to a different level. And I'll say it like this: what zombie flicks as of, I want to say, the last 5 or 6 years, we all know it's just been The Walking Dead,
Yeah.
and anything else they throw in between is like a variation of a zombie film. Either the zombies aren't really flesh eaters, or they're just runners, or they do whatever. Like, you've had some all right flicks.
Yeah.
And as of late, the only other zombie movie that's kind of had me on edge, even like, a little tense, because that's what you really want in a film, like where you're sitting there with that tense feeling like anything could happen. I will say, like, when Resident Evil Return to Raccoon City had elements of that. Like, I know people will probably be like, oh, I didn't really like it. I mean, that's why I think that took that movie to a better level, that it's the same as this. There are times where you actually feel like, it doesn't feel like, oh, this is just an action flick with a bunch of monsters. And like, you feel like, damn, like, how is somebody going to survive? How is somebody going to defeat this? Like, every time you saw something, it felt like impending doom. So yeah. I was really impressed by that. This show really kept me up, like, and not up in fear. Like, it just, people will say, like, you're trying to turn the episode off and save it, and you found yourself like, I only watch like 10 minutes of the next episode.
And you just get engraved.
And you just end up watching the whole thing, and then it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. You're like, what the hell?
And each episode, folks, runs from at least an hour, sometimes 50 minutes to 70 minutes. Because for those who are not familiar with Korean drama shows, they usually run like an actual movie length for an episode. Like, this Korean drama shows out there, that's like an hour and 30 minutes per episode. So
yeah, that's what kind of threw me a little bit, because there were episodes I was watching, and I was like, I kind of felt like, yo, this should be over already. Yeah. And I look, and I still had like 30 minutes left to go. So it was like an episode, it was like an hour and 20 minutes. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. But the great thing is that the pacing is well done. That way you don't really feel it, because you're so immersed, because of like we kept saying, is the intensity level that the show brings to you. And just a little bit about what Sean's talking about when it comes to the this is not a spoiler, but what they do with the zombies and how the zombies are introduced, I thought was very well done. And I think the way they introduce certain rules for these particular zombies, it's something, it has been done before, but it's refreshing take on the zombies.
Yeah.
And of what they how to defeat them and how to escape from them. It's a very refreshing take in how the virus spreads as well. So I thought they did a really good job with that.
Yeah, it's not one of those where, it's like pop them in the head and then keep walking. Yeah. Like, it's not one of that. It's like, it's not Resident Evil video games. You get the best gun and then this is you can run through an entire hallway and that's it. But I will say this, like, even though the pacing was good, there are maybe a few episodes I was just like, okay, this might drag a little bit, but it wasn't enough for me to say, okay, this was bad. It was just, just like anything, nothing is going to be absolutely perfect. You're going to get a couple of episodes where it's just like, all right, well.
For me, I would say my biggest complaint sometimes was the action scenes, where it got a little bit unrealistic with the kids, because I was just like, okay, y'all just full blown like parkour in this shit right here. It's just like, it's like, yo, I know y'all young, you're athletic, but I'm just like, come on, bro. I mean, in real life, we'll be done. Okay, so they do take liberties with certain things. So there's certain scenes and the action scenes that happen here, you gotta suspend disbelief. I'm like, all right, I know y'all going for a little bit realistic approach, but that kid just kind of hopped the fence and sledded and then jumped the walls, and it's just like.
But I mean, overall, it was realistic enough for me to sit down and say, well, wow, this is a good flick. Like if I was like, I would have really been a little tight if I would have missed this. And the funny thing is, until it was brought to our attention, I was like, I know the trailer had been out for a while, and I actually started sharing the trailer with people. Like, you got to check this out. Like, trust me, you're gonna spend your weekend watching this. Like, just wait for it to come out. Oh, when does it come out? Oh, it comes out on the 28th. You just trust me. Make your plans to sit down and watch this. You're gonna be into this once you start it. And like that is what's going to be the next thing everybody's talking about.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And just for those who want to know, there is English dub and the original dub as well. So if you're not looking for subtitles, you can watch this in English dub. I watched it in subtitles because I'm about that life. But,
and I switched it to English dubs because it was like I don't mind subtitles, but sometimes I just want to sit back and listen, not read.
But overall, folks, we're going to give this a must watch. This is a must binge. I'm giving it 4 out of 5 stars. For those like the ratings.
I'm giving it 4.5. I'm giving it 4.5 because this was a great find. This was like, I actually have to thank them for sending Netflix and everyone for sending this. Like, this was something that like because we can't give like different spoilers of certain things, I'm just going to tell you, like, you're really going to like this series and it's really going to blow your mind for certain things. So especially the effects of the zombies, like, I don't know. I don't want to say that as a spoiler, but like the special effects they use were just
it's spot on.
Yeah.
It's trained up Basan level, folks. So if you're a fan of that, you're a fan of High School Dad without the fan service, then you're gonna fit right into this. This is a hell of a ride. We're gonna be we will do a spoiler on our podcast. We will have a discussion about with Nadia and everybody else.
Premieres,
after premieres, we'll do a full spoiler review on the podcast. So definitely check us out. This is Justin and Sean saying later days. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that notification bell. If you're watching this on tacosandgeeks.com, browse the website, check out our podcast, check out our interviews.
Give us a couple of likes.
Give us a couple of likes. Share our articles, by the way. You can follow us on Instagram at Tacos and Geeks, Twitter at Tacos and Geeks, Facebook.com/Tacos and Geeks blog, and of course Twitch.tv/Tacos and Geeks. I'm playing Japanese import games over there weekly. So we are out. Later days. Catch you in the next one, folks.
Peace.